Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, viewers. I am here with United States News. My name is M. Scott Toplansky, bringing you all the updates on World War II and the Great Depression. Tonight's program will feature stories about Mexican Americans and the Zoot Suit riots. 1 second. Breaking news. Zoot Suit riots are happening right now. On to David Feinkitchen on the field with the story.
Thank you, Max. There seems to be a lot of racial tension here in Los Angeles after the recent Sleepy Lagoon case last summer, where a group of Mexican-American teenagers, part of the 38th Street Gang, were accused of murdering a man. Even though no files were charged against them, it created a lot of anti-Mexican sentiment in the area. Recently, a riot broke out between U.S. servicemen and Mexican-Americans. Nick Cavana with a spectator on the event. Nick?
Thank you, David. Now I'm here with David Fine-Burrito. David, can you please explain to me what happened in these riots?
Well, there was a group of U.S. servicemen, about 12 of them, that were walking down the street. They saw a Mexican-American woman and started to harass her. One of the men didn't stop and kept walking past a group of Mexican-Americans wearing zoot suits.
Well, can you please explain who initiated this violence?
I'm not really sure. When the sailor walked past the zoot suits, the Mexican raised up his arm, and the sailor seemingly took it as a violent gesture and grabbed it. Violence then ensued, and the rest of the Mexicans ran to break up the sailor's harassment.
Thank you, sir. I'll report that back to our other David in this studio. Till then, we'll see you next time. 4 days after a riot over zoot suits between Mexican Americans and U.S. servicemen, another one erupts in Los Angeles. 11 sailors got out of a bus and ran into a group of Mexican Americans wearing zoot suits and got into a verbal argument. The servicemen were insulted by the zoot suits because they felt it showed anti-nationalism because the country was in a tough economic time and the zoot suits were very expensive and used a lot of resources. The sailors say they were jumped and beaten by the zoot suiters. To back up their fellow men, 200 U.S. Navy men got a fleet of 20 taxi cabs and headed for Los Angeles. The sailors went on a rampage, clubbing preteen Mexican boys and stripping everyone of their zoot suits. This left a lasting racial and social resonance in Los Angeles and many other places among the country. Hello again, back with M. Scott Toplansky. Developing story, Colorado local Brittany Burns was arrested for organizing an underground gambling ring. Experts predict she will receive 10 to 12 years in jail with a $3 million bail and no possibility of parole. Just in, Franklin Delano Roosevelt comes to an agreement with Mexican President Manuel Avila Camacho to initiate the Bracero program. The Bracero program was prompted by demand for manual labor in the war. The government is planning to bring in a few hundred experienced Mexican agricultural laborers to harvest sugar beets in California. This is significant for the Mexican-American community after more than 500,000 were deported during the Great Depression. Now, we send you over to Nick Cavana with a farmer who's given an opportunity to move to California. Thank you, Max. I'm Nick Cavana here with David Fine-Burrito. David, how did these Bracero programs affect you? Well, I think they're well-deserved by the Mexican-American people. After we were forced out of the country by the Great Depression, it's a chance to get back and start working again. Did your people agree with the programs or disagree? Did it hurt them? Well, I think we definitely agreed with the programs because it's just an opportunity to help the United States in the war effort and make some money and raise some beets again. Going back to the war effort, how did this war effort affect you and your people? Well, I think it's definitely going to help the war effort because now that the United States has more people working in the home front, we'll have more food to give the troops across in Europe to help them out. Thank you, David. I'm Nick Cavana here with David Fine-Burrito. Back to you, Max. Welcome back to United States News. I'm your anchor, M. Scott Toplansky, and right now I'm going to take a little time to bring you a word from our sponsors. Nutella Hazelnut Spread, a cheap, inexpensive, delicious way to win the war. I'm Nick Cavana. Breaking news. M. Scott Toplansky in the studio. Can you hear me? Okay, you can hear me. So the Bracero programs, we got more news on them. They were created by a shortage in the labor sector of the economy, and the economy has been affected by the migrational and seasonal part of the programs. I'm Scott Toplansky in the studio with more news on that. Thank you, Nick. And thank you to all of our viewers for watching tonight. We'd like to leave you with a couple pictures of the topics we covered tonight in this nice slideshow. Enjoy. And good night from M. Scott Toplansky here with United States News.